Yeah, we rock the party non-stop like this.
Back at the Emirates, and the vibes here, as usual, are vibing. I'm as close to the ground as I can be. I'm gonna try and take the stadium tour. And there's a few people making a music video, I think, based on Arsenal, the song. That's why they call us the Culture Club. How cool is that? So take a look at this, the great Arsene Wenger. And you have a few club presidents. This is Ken Frere. This here is Peter Hillwood. Presidents or chairmen, I should say. And this is Dennis Hillwood. So generational stuff. And that here is the great Herbert Chapman. I don't need to see his name to know. There we are. Herbert Chapman, one of the most successful managers in Arsenal history. Let's move forward. Feel proper, rich and posh because I'm at a place called the Directors Lounge, and I think Diamond Club members can only be entering this. You can see Directors box outside. You have all the fancy seats, and wait for the main event because this is the look. This is the view you get when you're here in this VIP box. I think the club are thinking of increasing the number of seats here and more of the hospitality boxes. They want to increase the capacity. There has been talks of increasing the number of seats to maybe 5,000, although that still wouldn't be enough for how big a fan base this is. They should really think of moving it higher. But given the restrictions of how this stadium was built and the area around it, I don't think they can expand the Emirates anymore. They'll have to go to a new stadium if that's the case. Right, so this is off season. That's where you can see the pitch is covered and it's got some work going on. During off season, this usually has other events taking place, sometimes concerts as well. I'm not sure what's happening next, but as you can clearly see, the pitch has been covered, and it's been like this since the Champions League final day, in fact, when there was a live viewing here. I could see it from the airplane when I was about to land. So yeah, in any case, this is as close to the Emirates as I've ever been. Well, I'm inside right now, and these are the seats. Posh leather, probably comfortable seats for the posh fans of the Arsenal. The Arsenal chant, we'll sing it at the clock end and in the North Bank too. So there you see, that's the clock end. And that's the North Bank. I was just talking to one of the staff here, and he was saying that they're looking to build on top of these stands, but I'm not sure if that's possible, if they want to increase the capacity. He was also saying that the seats here, these are the largest seat sizes that we have in the Premier League, or probably in England. So it makes more sense that these seats are going to be made smaller to accommodate more fans, because that's the more reasonable, I'd say, option here right now if you want to increase the capacity. I wanted to show you something very special. This is a golden trophy for the Invincible season that we had. It was presented to Arsene Wenger in 2018 when he was managing his final match for the Arsenal. And over here it has all the dates and the matches that we won in that 49 undefeated run. So I was talking about the Diamond Club just a while ago. Now I'm here and I'm next to the great Iceman. Mr. Dennis Bergkamp scored the greatest goal in Premier League history against Newcastle. If you haven't seen it, you should. Here you can see the history of our logos, all from how it started and what it is now. But I have a feeling that's going to change very soon as well. You see just the cannon in some of the jerseys these days. And Arsene Wenger, we call it the Arsene Wenger Stadium, and he's all over this place. So the Diamond Club is an exclusive place for sponsors and other corporates who obviously help us in a big way. And as you can see, the seating capacity might be increased here. There is talk of these places having more seats because it is pretty spacious, and you can see that the seats are pretty well spaced out. As you can see here, plenty of space in between. So who knows, they might want to increase the capacity that way as well. Only time will tell. Coming to the good part, because we are downstairs just in front of the pitch, waiting to enter through those famous gallowed halls of the Arsenal. And these are all pretty recent pics because, as you can see right here, Arsenal Football Club, champions. Yes, they are champions. And this is a very special thing. This is a time capsule. It was buried here at the players' entrance. This capsule contains 39 titles. 39 items, in fact, my bad. So there you can see what the items are. Some stuff by Vieira. There's a picture of Gunnersaurus. And there's the Highbury clock end. The clock probably here. And these things. So this is this is so cool. This is we're coming to the favorite parts of the ground for me, and look at that. That is the picture of your current champions of England. We know what we are. And not to forget champions of Europe too, the Arsenal women, the only club in England to have won the Champions League more than once. Now this is the tunnel. We're coming through the slightly newly made tunnel. This is the Arsenal tunnel. You can see it's well lit up in red and white, the Arsenal colors, just the way it should be. And then I'm actually going to take some time and go to the home changing room first, and then show you the away changing room. Make it happen. These are all new, right? Stuff that Mikel Arteta often says in his press conferences. So this is a nice little touch from the Arsenal to have the champions, all of them. They're all champions. You represent the Arsenal, you're a champion. As simple as that is. Yeah, Gyökeres and then Kelly. So that means you have the men's team and the women's team players and their jerseys represented here. Stina Blackstenius, Declan Rice. We all know what Lewis Skelly's been doing recently. Yeah, they all represent the Arsenal. Okay, now I am in front of Mikel's office and also Renee's office. I just want to make sure that I behave myself and I apply for the job and I make it. So first, Mikel Arteta. Let's go. So here he is with his first ever trophy. Now he's won a few more. And there we see Mikel giving us his vision of the Arsenal. And that's where he's got all his tactics ready. I'm sure there'll be more attacking and entertaining next season. Let's hope for the best. Just love it when they have all the old logos, the old team crests here. I think this is my favorite one. And then before that, it was, well, after that, it was this with the Victoria Concordia Crescent. It means victory through harmony, and this is the last one. Like I said, they'll have a newer logo pretty soon with just the cannon, I feel. And now that I'm done with the home end, it's time for me to see the away changing room before I make my way to the ground. So this is the away changing room. Has some of our famous wins, title wins, cup wins. Kevin Campbell, what a legend. Unfortunately passed away very recently. The tandem of Wright and Kevin Campbell. And then this was our 7-1 win against PSV just a season ago. And over here you can see more history.
Going all the way, can he find the shot or the cross? There's the little cross coming in, and there's number 2, and wait a moment, it's there, Marcelo!
How cool is this? This is so tastefully done.
What an amazing comeback! Jimmy's going to
I could stay here for a long time now, but I'm on a bit of a time crunch because the stadium tour ends pretty soon. I gotta get going, unfortunately. So I'm here in an interview room. This is where you see the Premier League players giving their interviews to the different journalists right after the match. It's a pretty soundproof room, and this is the place where they're standing and getting asked probably good questions after Arsenal have won 1-0 against a Premier League opposition. This is the room where all the press conferences happen. The managers, they get grilled with the tough questions, and now we have an opportunity to sit in the hot seat and answer. This is one of my favorite things here in the Arsenal Stadium now. This is a Daily Mirror page from 1989, Saturday, May 27th. And it says, "Cop is in tears as players collapse." What happened is the 89 trophy, where Arsenal won on the final match day. It happened against Liverpool, and they needed to win 2-0, and they won 2-0 with the final kick of the match. So this is brilliant. And there you see, here's another paper cutout. This has all the famous wins and the trophies and the paper cutouts from those wins. Arsenal win the World Cup here. This is from the Arsenal players winning it. And this is all very carefully curated stuff, I have to say. Very impressive. So if you spin this wheel long enough, one of these special coins will come out eventually.
Oh yeah, but you have to pay.
You have to pay £2 for it. Totally worth it. Totally worth it, man.
Yeah, no, certainly, but he's already got one.
Oh, okay. Look at that. This is gorgeous. Yeah, this video got me all emotional and teary-eyed. Look at this. Arsenal. The players from different countries being represented here. This is the Arsenal Museum, and there's the great Herbert Chapman. I'm gonna make this the greatest club in the world. Look at this. That's our boy right there, Bukayo Saka, doing good work for the community. You know who that is? That looks like a very, very young Miles Lewis Kelly right there with Per Mertesacker. The Arsenal Academy is producing so much talent these days, right? One after another, and these are some of the finals that we've played. That's for our women's team when we won the Champions League just a season ago. Leah Williamson's boots that featured. Nice. And this is when we won the Conti Cup. This is our Champions League win. Great stuff, huh? This is our history. You have to know, from the 1950s all the way. We were the most successful club during the 50s, 60s, all the way to the 70s. We had the most number of leagues. And that's the iconic 02 jersey from the Invincible season. Gilberto, Henry, Bergkamp. Yeah. That's our European Cup Winners' Cup jersey, the one we won. When people talk about Arsenal not having European heritage, show them that. Yeah, Wenger and Tony Adams. What a duo, what a combo. And this is the Clock End Theatre. Beyond all numbers, Arsenal's triumph must be remembered for its glorious refinement of a new way of playing. No team can move the ball so gracefully and incisively. And that's what Arsene Wenger did. He introduced a more European style, not just in the Arsenal, but also to Premier League teams. So that's why he's the first Hall of Famer alongside Alex Ferguson. There you see the Premier League. Back then it was called the FA Premier League, when we went 49 unbeaten. We saw the golden trophy for that, right? There it is, in all its glory, the Premier League trophy. And that was the team that did it. Oh, what a man, what a guy. He predicted it and it happened. He said he could take us unbeaten through an entire season, and he was dubbed Comical Wenger by rival supporters. In the end, he knew what he said, and then 49 undefeated happened. Let's see what's happening here. Champions. Roll of honor, huh? There's going to be one more added next to this, 2025-26. What do we have here? We have League Cup final stuff. We've got a European Cup Winners' Cup. This is the one, the European Cup Winners' Cup we won. That's the League Cup, and this is how the league trophy used to look before it turned into the Premier League. And then this is how the old FA Cup was. So there we go. Hope you all enjoyed this museum tour. This tour brought back a lot of memories, a lot of good memories. Very, I would say, emotionally touching for me as well to see all of these great things. And there's more here actually. There you see Charlie George, George Graham. The whole 1-0 to the Arsenal chant happened during the George Graham era. There's Liam Brady, a big Irish influence in Ireland and also in the Arsenal, because of guys like Brady, because of guys like David O'Leary. And this is some of the players that Arsene Wenger bought: Emmanuel Petit, Marc Overmars, bringing in the more European style to the British steel that they had in their defense. This was the cup double team. You can see Ian Wright. So much history, so much success. I'll try and be as fast as possible. This was a record attendance for the women's team as well here. 60,160. Imagine how big the Arsenal women's team is also getting. We were here just a while ago. Now we'll go to the left. You see stuff from when it was founded. This is how the Arsenal was founded, 1886. So it was Woolwich Arsenal, Royal Arsenal before that. The early Highbury years, yeah. Construction of the East Stand in 1936. And there you see the clock. The famous clock, which we still have at the Emirates, and the clock end. This is Highbury in 1951. Just look at that. But before I leave, I'm going to leave you with something very interesting. Look at this. Celebration, right? Arshavin, Sol Campbell, David Seaman, Dennis Bergkamp, Paul Merson, Freddie Ljungberg, Alan Smith, Ian Wright, the King Thierry, and it's called, you guessed it, Celebration Corner. And it's right next to the statue of the great man himself, Thierry Henry, with that iconic celebration for the goal against Spurs. Who would forget? So that was my day here at the Arsenal Stadium and the museum. The museum really got me emotional, thinking about all of our history, how big we are, and just what we've done for football and for the community as well. And the stadium itself, you know, being so close to everything. The only downside would be that the pitch was covered. I couldn't enter there, or else on other days you get to enter the pitch as well. So far today, can't complain. What an amazing day. What an amazing stadium.